Hey guys, I thought I would do a video on a remake. Now, remakes I'm very skeptical about. There's a lot of remakes that are really bad, like terrible, and then like the original is like a masterpiece compared to the remake, and you would think with today's technology that they would be better than the original. But for some reason, they never turn out to be like the original. One of the exceptions is the remake for The Hills Have Eyes. Now, I did a review for part 2 of the original movie, and this is a remake of the original movie. Made in 2006, and the remake is 15 minutes longer than the original film, but considering this one is the unrated version, I'm not sure how much longer this one is from the original. But basically, it's got the same plot from the original. It's about a cross-country road trip, and they end up crashing their station wagon with their trailer, and they end up getting hunted by these cannibals. And I'm glad how they kept the names from the original, like Papa Jupiter, and they have Pluto, and Wes Craven did produce this film, so he was involved in it, but I don't believe he wrote it. I don't think he did. And Peter Locke is involved in it, and he produced the first one, and I believe he did the second one also. And Alexander Aja, I think that's how you pronounce his name, directed this. And he also directed the wonderful movie called Piranha, basically a porno. But this movie, I think, is definitely somewhat better than the original, because this one has gore. I mean, the gore in this movie, especially in the unrated version, it's just wow. I mean, it far surpasses the original. I mean, it's not necessarily scary, but the gore is really what gets me. The gore is really awesome, and I love death scenes. And like Friday the 13th, and gosh, probably, I think really only Friday the 13th or maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre are the movies that have the best kills, mainly Friday the 13th. This film was one of those movies where after I saw it, I talked about the kills. And there's a lot of kills in this movie that involve axes and hatchets. And kind of reminds me of that movie Hatchet. But I'm not even going to get into that. That was, wow. But it's basically almost, you would say, a shot-for-shot remake. I mean, there is a lot of parts that happen in this movie that happened in the original one. The scene where they have the mom and they're gonna use it as bait, and they blow up the trailer. I mean, it is a pretty decent remake. I mean, this really does define the word remake. It's not like Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho, where it was basically shot for shot. This is a remake. I mean, it copied the story, but they made it better. They made the death scenes better. They made the characters better. And it's just, oh man, I love this film. I mean, I watch it all the time with my friends. I mean, they can't believe the gore in this movie. And the mutants look awesome. I mean, they're so, oddly deformed and everything. I mean, it's just, I can't believe it when I watch them. And, considering this was 2006, it was kind of, usually remakes for horror films started around 2003 with the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's really when they started remaking a lot of the old horror films, and this was one of them. And, of course, they remade Halloween, Friday the 13th, Last House on the Left. They did sequels to Halloween and this. And, they made a lot of remakes. And this one and probably Halloween maybe Last House on the Left are probably the only three remakes that I think actually live up to the original. Last House on the Left is cutting it pretty close. But I mean, I absolutely adore this film. I mean, I love this one better than the sequel. I have that. I own that one too. I'm not even gonna get into that one. Maybe I'll do another video on it. But I mean, it's just really awesome, and I absolutely love this film. I'll give this one a 6 out of 5. I mean, if you love gory horror movies, this movie is for you. I mean, it's just so gory. I mean, I would compare the gore to this movie to The Evil Dead. Now, if you want more of Hills Have Eyes and you didn't like the sequel, there is another movie called Wrong Turn that is very much like Hills Have Eyes, about these mutants that, hunt these people in these woods. And, it's a lot like Hills Have Eyes, and Wrong Turn 2 is pretty decent, but I haven't seen Wrong Turn 3, and apparently that one's terrible. And, I mean, if you haven't seen the Wrong Turn trilogy, go ahead and watch them. I mean, even though this last two are probably terrible, it still has that Hills Have Eyes, flavor to them. But I highly recommend this film to anyone who likes, bloody, gory horror films. This one, it almost made me sick. It was really great, and I highly recommend this to anyone, who likes these modern remakes of classic horror films.